Hey guys, I haven't really posted much recently because I'm a little bit ashamed of the camera and microphone I have, which is really not the best excuse. And honestly, I'm not sure how many people actually watch YouTube versus listen. It's kind of an interesting idea. Anyways, so I just finished a shift doing support coaching for students. That's going really well. I started doing code reviews, I guess it was earlier this month. Starting off with some simpler things like JavaScript, rock, paper, scissors, or to-do app. Um, and then just in the past 2 weeks, started working more with React, which is great. Excuse me. Because it's such a popular library, and proficiency with it makes you a very valuable developer indeed. So things are going pretty well on that front. I feel like I'm really improving a lot as a programmer, but it's really tiring at the same time. I would say probably the most taxing issue so far is the refactoring of people's apps in preparation for giving a code review, especially if it's an app with functionality you've never worked with before. So far I've done I think 3 React expense trackers, which really taught me a lot. Uh, but yeah, so the one of the hardest parts is that students they're in the middle of learning, so they know what they want to do, but they're not sure how to do it. And when they run into an issue, you have to kind of find where they got stuck and what they were trying to do, which is not always very obvious. So it's almost like forensic in nature. You're kind of going to the scene of the crime and trying to find clues and things like this. But it teaches you a lot, and I feel like it's really helping. helping. I feel like it's really helping my concentration. Uh, it's getting a little bit easier, but I still finish. I'm just like, wow, that was. I was just concentrating for like 4 hours straight there, which is good. You want that in life. It's good to be sharp. So, but I am enjoying it very much so. In regard to my English school here, I've had a letter drafted. I wrote the letter in English and then I had it translated by a friend into polite Japanese. I probably could have done it myself, but it's a big time-consuming thing, and written Japanese is really different from spoken Japanese. So things like that, you want to make a good impression, right? So I'm going to be passing that out at the beginning of the month next week, Tuesday, December 1st. And that's going to be one big step forward toward getting out of here. Basically, I'm just telling the students and their parents that I'll be starting a full-time job in April, and I won't be able to teach here at this school and do that job. So I'm going to do my best to find a replacement, and if I cannot find a replacement, I'm going to have to close the school. So that is that. I'm just about to jump from the plane. There's no going back after that. Not until I pull the ripcord. And anyways, I'm feeling kind of fried actually. Now that I'm trying to shoot this video, it's been a long day. What did I do? So one student kind of made a mistake following this video to create a local. So basically, create a Node server, and then inside of that folder, a React app. So what he just created the React app in this folder, and then pushed that to GitHub. And then he's like, okay, where's in the video it says there's this other folder called client. What's that? And uh, is it in SRC? And so I looked at it and was like, actually, all you have now is client. You need to move that, what you have now, into another folder. And then he did that, and he's like, I can't get to GitHub. It's because the repo was inside of the folder, and so I had to show him how to like delete that. And so many questions like that come up. There's such a range of skill levels, but it's good stuff to be involved with because I am really helping people. People are taking time, during the day on their lunch breaks or before work or after work or on the weekend. They're investing a lot of time into learning this, and when you get stuck when you're trying to learn programming, it can be one of the most frustrating things in life, really. You know, because they're under pressure with these deadlines already, and they've invested money quite a bit, in my opinion. Although the program I work for, the pricing is actually really reasonable compared to what other people offer. And they also come in with, you know, a bunch of different expectations. Some of them just figure like, well, you know, I can read books and I can speak English and I can type, so it shouldn't be too hard, you know. And then so you get all kinds. Some people just come in and excel. Some people come in and insist on using jQuery. Others come in and hit a brick wall and just get really emotional. Um, but my job, along with the other support coaches, is to just find out where they are and give them just enough information, enough of a hint to see the solution. You know, it's kind of interesting, and it's a very hard skill to calibrate. So my boss and the other support coaches have been very gracious in that, because it's tempting when you want to help someone, you kind of want to just like take the entire app and fix it for them and say, this is how it works, you know. But that's actually one of the worst things you can do, because you are essentially you're depriving them of that experience of learning and making the connections themselves, which is really what separates a good developer from a not so good one. A good developer knows why something is built the way it is, and uh, so developers don't. They're just like, well, I just know this will work, you know. Um, so that's been interesting. So you really have to just drill down an exact immediate problem now. What is it? You can share resources. You know, hey, read this article, or what is this function doing? Console.log this, you know, online, whatever, and what do you get back? What can you do with that? And it's really rewarding when they get back to you, like, I got it working, you know. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, they get really negative too, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm cut out for this, and you can just kind of talk them down. Ledge talks, be like, hey, it's totally normal. You know, most people don't realize that it's extremely normal to get stuck, sometimes for a long time when you're learning programming, or even when you're working as a programmer. You know, so luckily this course that I work for, the range of technologies is not that expensive. It's really just typical HTML, CSS, vanilla JavaScript, Node, and React. With some of the apps have a little bit of SQL, and for some of the more advanced students, the top main guy handles C Sharp and Python. So I'm really just working with Node and React for the most part, and a bit of vanilla JavaScript. So it's not inconceivable for me to actually get this down in the next, you know, at this pace. I've been doing it. I'm nearing the end of my second month now, and I feel like I've probably doubled my developing ability as a developer. I would say probably by this spring at this pace, I'll be pretty good to go. Especially since I've got a break happening in December where I won't be constantly distracted by my other job. Yeah, so yeah, April will be the beginning of full time, and it's going to be a good lifestyle change. Programming really, I mean, you can do it at a cafe, or I do it from here in the lobby of my English school with people walking by and cars, and you know, sometimes you get randoms coming in. Do you want to buy a newspaper, or you know, blah blah blah. But really, if you can have a quiet space with no interruptions, you can really go deep in concentration and start putting things together. So I'm looking forward to that. It really is just like a fascinating industry. I really feel honored and very happy and very relieved to be a part of it in a professional way. This is my lifeboat, this opportunity. So I'm taking it to shore. All right, that's it for this one. I guess I'm just gonna start posting more often now, and I'm not gonna wait till I have like this the awesome equipment or anything. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. All right, until next time.